The music bed, because, this one's different than the MCU. Hello, everybody. We're live. Just checking the other feeds here. We should be live on Facebook as well. We got lots of new followers over the weekend on Twitter. Lots of new friends that I'm like, hi guys, you should come check us out on Monday night for Avenger Pretenders. Let's see here. Go back to my page, and yep, it's showing we are live, so yay to that. And let me just check Facebook. We should be live, not Facebook. Twitch should be live on Twitch. And,
yes, we are.
And Dennis, your video just keeps cutting in and out. I don't know what's happening.
Yep, it just shut off and turned back on.
It's weird.
I can see it's fine. Something, and you can hear me fine, so it's not the connection.
Yes, we can hear you fine. We can hear you fine. So hello, everybody.
It's good old Skype.
Yeah. Listen, if Discord gets their button gear and does NDI recording, problem solved. Problem solved. It's crazy with what's going on. It really is.
Agree. Agree.
All right, let me do this real quick. Need my notes, because I have my notes. My notes right here. And let's see here. Just making sure everything's set. Yep. All right, that's perfect. Sweet. All right. Want to say hi to Valerie, who's watching on Facebook. Want to say hello to all the punchers out there in Twitch. Dennis's video disappeared again.
It's on my end. It's doing stuff.
It is, because all of a sudden your Skype video, it was just showing the Skype logo. All right. Let's, this may be...
You ready?
I'm ready. This one's the... Which one is
Episode 3.
I don't remember what size file this is. Hold on. Usually I do the 30-second one. Let me just we do the 30-second promo. And where is it here? Avenger Pretenders. There it is. And long. That's yeah. Don't start yet. It's too loud. All right, JT, you ready, my friend?
I am ready.
All right. It's going to be loud, and then I'm going to lower it, because that's how I roll. Here we go.
I'm going to get this before I come in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome.
Can you hear it?
No, I tried to go wireless again. Damn it. Hang on. Here, I can plug in. I can plug in real quick. Just give me 1 second.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Crap.
I fixed this. Dennis, you were able to hear it, right?
Yep.
All right.
Fine.
And Dennis,
Yeah, it's because I went wireless again.
all right. Can you hear it?
I don't hear anything just yet. Give me 1 second.
Okay. He's got to fix it so he can get his cue, folks.
Sorry, y'all.
Live podcasting at its best.
Right.
Dennis, you look so far away again. Only this time you really do look far away.
Turned off. Minicam was bugging, so I turned it off completely.
That'll do it. All right, let me adjust your video.
You still have the music going?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just waiting for you.
Give me a quick shot. Let me see if I can hear it, please.
Can you hear it? Did you hear it? Did you?
No, didn't hear anything. So,
all right, hold on. It might be
I'm
my
gonna...
end. Hold on here. Let me fix it real quick. Hold on. I'll tell you. All right, let's see. Audio, video, multi-channel. All right.
Big Tank says, what in the fucking blue hell was that shit?
Music. And JT, all of a sudden you got really low.
Don't know why I didn't change that.
Oh, hold on. It might be my end. Try again.
Right here.
There we go.
Ooh.
Here we go. All right, let's see if you can hear it now.
Yep.
Excellent. Sweet. Dennis can hear it too. Perfect.
Let's try this again.
Let's try this again. You'll hear it lower.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Avenger Pretenders, The Outliers. Why did I say that? Because we're not talking about an Avenging show. That's right, we are talking about the Book of Boba Fett. It's the two geeks and the redneck, that would be me. Sit back, relax, make sure you have your favorite adult beverage. And Adam, or Sully, it's all yours.
Who? What?
That's Echo's fault because he kept invoking Adam.
Sure. Putting the N word in for a second time, and suddenly it's all his fault.
My fault. What the hell? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. I'm Sully. With me today, obviously, is my man JT, and of course, Western Echo himself, my man Dennis. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to all the punchers. And before we get really into it, we do have to say this. Happy birthday, Kate. Because Kate is watching. Just saw her pop up on Facebook, which means she's not out for her birthday. What's up with that? Do I have to yell at your fiance? Do I have to yell at Keaton? Huh? What the hell? You should be taking you out. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So happy birthday, Kate. So yes, as JT mentioned, we are talking about the Book of Boba Fett. Yes, the book of Boba Fett is very entertaining. Not gonna lie, very entertaining. I
would agree.
I always think something different's going to happen, but honestly, it really is good. It's good, and I know Tank's going to be like, dude, what's up with the Vespas? I'm going to tell him.
Nikaya says that she finally watched episode 1.
Oh, she did?
That's what she said.
Well, I mean, better late than never, I suppose.
You're only 2 weeks behind, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, you know what? But given her circumstances, I get it.
Yep.
I do. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, you have no excuse. Just putting it out there. Just saying. So yeah. So hi everybody. Like Dennis is got multi screens going on there, right? You got or is it just one laptop?
It's it's a multiple laptop. There's a work laptop and a couple of home ones running.
He's also got a new microphone hooked up, so he's doing what he needs to do. And of course, we're gonna have some fun doing it. So let's get right down to it for the nitty gritty. If you guys didn't watch the last 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, spoiler alert, chapter 3.
Shit out of luck.
What?
I said you shit out of luck.
Shit out of luck, because we're going to ruin it for you. We're going to ruin it with breakdown and, of course, jokes, because that's how we roll. And
this was dead. Oh, sorry.
But who said that? I don't know. But yeah, it's all good. Wow, your video just keeps going in and out. It's crazy. I wonder why it keeps doing that. It's not just Dennis. It's JT too. For some reason, Skype is just not being a very good friend today.
Big Tank in all capital letters says, I finally caught up.
It didn't take long. I mean, one was 30 minutes, one was 45 minutes, and the other one was 35 minutes. They're not long episodes. They're not. You could put them all together in one movie and you're good to go. Just saying. Big Tanks also says, I love the fin helmet they put on the Spike. Yeah, there's a lot of helmets they put on the Spikes. But we'll get into that. Want to say hi to Katie, Jim, Cassandra, and Chris. They're all watching on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We start the episode off with some interesting things going on. Interesting things. Chapter 3 is titled Mos Espa. Yes, the streets of Mos Espa, where some interesting things happen. We have a what was it? A droid? We've seen this droid all the time. It's kind of like a spider. It's
Yeah, what the hell was that thing?
if I remember correctly, it's a B'mar order, which probably doesn't make a lot of sense to you guys, but it looks like a big black robotic spider with its stomach looks like jelly, but it's really not. It's I wish I had a good picture of it. Echo, do you have a good picture that we could probably show people? I'm pretty sure you do. Somewhere around here. He's pretty good with finding the pictures real quick. But it's I don't want to say it's like an actual stomach. It's like a glass ball with liquid under it.
Mm.
And
Oh, there's a perfect picture.
JT found a picture. There you go. There you go. So it's really hard to explain.
It is hard to describe.
You know, like you see it in Return of the Jedi because it's walking around Jabba's palace. So I want to say that maybe it has something to do with maybe like some type of alcohol or something like that. It's weird. It's like kind of like, I don't even think it's that. I think it's more like on a religious standpoint, like some type of monk thing. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it opens up with one of those walking around. And like I said, we've seen it before in Return of the Jedi. You're right outside Boba Fett's palace.
Okay, the arachnid in question is known as a BT-16 perimeter droid.
Okay, a BT-16 perimeter droid.
Correct.
Sure.
That's what it says here in the article.
All right, then. I mean, you could also probably say, was it a brain walker? I know we've seen it. It has something to do with the B'mar monks.
Oh, jeez.
It's weird. It's very weird. But it is what it is. But let's get, moving along.
Holy crap.
So 8D8, which is the droid that briefs Boba Fett on all things that are going on in the wonderful world of Tatooine and Mos Espa and its people, all under his command, I guess you could say. And it's basically, your standard business. That's what's going on. Businesses that were under protection are now complaining, or they're getting robbed or voided of money. And it's like a complete upheaval of what's going on Tatooine. Okay. And I guess, what was it? 8D8 didn't want to say Jabba the Hutt at one point in time. But Boba Fett was like, no, you can say his name. It's not a big deal.
He almost said he who should not be named. I'm like, wait, no, don't go there.
Voldemort?
Do not invoke Harry Potter in this show.
Voldemort? Who didn't make it out of the snap? Come on now.
Right.
I mean, who said that? but like you could see, and this was the interesting thing when it came to Star Wars, was the droids. It didn't matter what type of droid it was. It's like the droids had feelings. You know, like they were going to get punished or something for doing something out of their programming, so on and so forth. And you can see 88 is like kind of cowering. Like, no, I don't want to say his name. And Boba Fett's just nonchalantly, he's dead. He's not going to hurt you. Like, chill out. You're not going to get hurt. I'm not going to do that to you. And then he goes on to explain why his new master would feel insulted, and he's just like, no, it's not. And that's when 88 starts apologizing all over again and weird stuff. You know, he explains that the barge explosion, you know, between the transfer of power with Bib Fortuna and Jabba, and under everything that Mos Espa just went in 4 to 5 different directions. You now had territories inside the main city, which is kind of unheard of in Star Wars. You know, normally it's no, this territory is this person, or so on and so forth. And I thought it was interesting that all they did was really center around Mos Espa. You know, they don't go into Anchorhead. They don't show Mos Eisley. Like this, all of Tatooine was under Jabba's control. Now it's all under Boba Fett. So there was a lot of different things all happening within the 5 years between Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian. You know, you had the Trandoshans coming in. You had the Klatooinians coming in. Like, everything was all separate, and they were all kind of... Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't want to say territory, I don't want to say territorial, but they were all kind of like at odds with each other. You know,
Oh, I mean, it's like gangs, you know.
yes,
This street is mine.
Yeah.
This street is yours, you know. And if you cross into my territory, then you're going to get killed. You know, it's like gangs that are all bordering on each other.
Yeah, and
Well, that's what Jabba fell. They all just moved in and tried to cut the territory up.
Mm.
Yeah, and I thought that was very interesting that I don't want to say it happened so quickly, but in a lot of ways it kind of did, because there was just so much going on at one point in time.
But when you have a power vacuum like that,
Yeah,
things happen almost instantaneously.
which, you know, still, that's pretty odd that it happened that way and that they showed it, you know? Well, they didn't really show it, but they bring it up a lot in this episode. And I don't know, there was just something about it that it reminded me of like the old mafia style movies. You know?
Kind of.
A little bit, you know, not as Scorsese as I would like, but you know, the old mob where, you know, they didn't really show anything. I don't want to say The Godfather, because it's just no, it's not that. But
Well, they kind of set this culture up already in the last episode when they started saying, you know, when the Boba Fett got this whole speech about how, you know, running a family is not the same as being a bounty hunter. So the
right,
stage is already set for what it's going to be like.
right, and that kind of brings you to the what's gonna happen next type of thing, you know. And from there, yeah, and the interesting thing is, what was it? Do you want to call him? He was a water farmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
The water
Watermonger,
farmer,
as he calls himself.
the watermonger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did use the watermonger in the show. So he's the watermonger, and his water is very expensive in Mos Espa, and his biggest thing was what was it? The people were robbing him, right? They were robbing him of his money or not
There,
paying
there,
him.
there was a gang that was stealing his water.
Yes,
He
and
started his whole appeal by people don't respect.
yeah, that's right.
was
He
his-
was
My favorite line of the episode.
very, very honest with that. The people don't respect you, and here's why.
Pretty much.
And of course, what I really loved was the long running "Do you have an appointment?" joke.
Oh God.
This is something that has been in every Office TV show, every Office movie. Do you have an appointment? Well, no, I don't, but he knows me. I need to see him. That long running shtick. And 8D8's like, you don't have an appointment. What are you doing? You don't have an appointment. Hello? You don't have... But Boba Fett's like, no, send him in. Send him in. Come on, bring him in. And since Bib Fortuna's death, that's when the people of Mos Espa pretty much stopped respecting Boba Fett. Not that they really did, because he was a bounty hunter at one point in time. So you can understand that civilians don't really have respect for bounty hunters just because of the way they do things. It's questionable, so to speak. But
Good way to put it.
well, I mean, think about it. It really is. You have two ways of collecting your bounty: dead or alive. There's no rules as a bounty hunter. You're either going to capture the person alive, and that makes you a pretty damn good bounty hunter, or dead, which makes you a good bounty hunter, but not the best. We know that obviously Boba Fett is the only one who is able to capture Han Solo so far. Will things change? Who knows? I doubt it. But it's one of those things that, he's got that bounty hunter reputation that now he's trying to be the Lord of Tatooine. He's the ruler. He's the one. He's the Hutt, so to speak.
And everywhere he's Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey, nobody gives me any respect. But it's true. So, and one thing is, like, I think Boba Fett takes that to heart. Because he's trying to rule peacefully.
He's trying not to take it to heart. He's trying to keep a straight face and shrug it off, no big deal.
Right.
But he's a little hurt.
He's a little hurt. His feelings, a little bit of crack there down the heart. But at the same time, as opposed to what Jabba would do, Jabba would send one of the bounty hunters or his lackeys or his guards out and take care of the situation. But Boba Fett doesn't have that yet. So he can't say, go get this person for me and bring them here. I want to talk to them. He's got to go out and do it himself. Now, I don't know if that's a way of losing respect or gaining respect, but in this instance, he is still intimidating. He's a Mandalorian, so he's got that Mandalorian armor. That's an intimidating armor when you see that,
Go ahead, Echo.
No, I want to tie into something you said before the show, JT, that we were talking about your opinion on what Boba's behavior is like, and
Yeah, I said he's acting like a pussy.
and I think that I'm actually at least I had a thought as I was watching this. I did have this very thought. Not so much he's a pussy, but he's in a position of power. The position he's never really been in.
Yes.
He's been a bounty hunter, a very different kind of life. So he's trying to find his way and find his balance. He doesn't really know how to go about it. He doesn't want to just rule with an iron fist.
Mm.
So I think he's trying to overcompensate by making way too many friends.
Yes.
Well,
And it's will blow up in his face.
yeah, and I mean he's fighting a front of proving himself on multiple fronts. I mean, it's kind of like Hitler in World War II trying to fight to the east and trying to fight to the west, and he's too split out. And he not only is he coming in as an ex bounty hunter with their reputation that he has to overcome, he's not following the traditions of the area, which is, being carried around on a big ass freaking sled and all this other crap. He's not doing that. He stated in episode 1 that I don't want to rule by fear. I want to rule by respect.
And Big Tank in chat says that he's biding his time, being nice till he has to not be.
Yes.
I kind of agree with that, because eventually it comes to a point, and like I said when we were talking before the show, it's coming in either episode 4 or episode 5. But when you're trying to lead from a point of respect in an area that has been ruled by who's got the quickest gun, who's got the biggest army for God knows how long, that's a big hill to climb.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
That's a big hill to climb. And I think he could have made more progress if he would have done a few things a little bit differently.
Okay.
Just to show how serious he is, because right now nobody takes him seriously. I think is the big issue. So, if instead of, you walking out of here with your life, maybe, blow the guy's arm off and say, let this be a warning to you and everyone else.
Sure.
Because then he gets people's attention, and then he starts earning the respect because of the fact that he didn't kill him like most others would have. But yet he still left a message by taking the guy's arm off.
Yeah.
Just, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kind of like, again, old school mob movies. You cut off the finger.
Right.
And you mail it to them going, let this be a lesson to you.
Yeah, Big Tank just said, the Book of Boba Fett is like a futuristic mob movie. Think Godfather and Goodfellas in the 25th century.
If Joe Pesci shows up, I'm going to die happy.
Well, hey, I tell you what. I saw somebody in this episode that I did not expect to see in these movies.
Which we'll get to, but I kind of expected it eventually.
You know what's funny, though? I was thinking about it the other day, and he popped into my head.
Oh, boy.
There he was, and I'm like,
maybe we'll see him.
Okay. Well, actually, it was he, with his look and everything, he'd be perfect in this.
Well, yeah.
And look what happened.
Clearly. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So, Lortha Peel, he's the watermonger. He's the one who says to Boba Fett that the people don't respect him, but he's pleading with him to purge the streets of the crime and get his water back and get rid of the people that are, just doing what they need to do. And later that night, he takes to the streets of Mos Espa. Kind of one of those, hey, there's a new sheriff in town. Listen, I'm going to, do what I need to do. And he meets meets a couple of the cybernetic youths, so to speak, that Lortha Peel talks about when he's pleading with Boba Fett to rid the streets. These are the ones that are stealing the water. And he goes to actually talk to them and say, all right, let's fix this. Let's see what we can do. And obviously, those youth.
Let's come to an arrangement.
Yes, but first, those youth. All right, Grandpa.
Right? Old man.
Yeah. But that's when they start telling Boba Fett about the extreme prices that he's been making on his water. And
a month's wages for a week's water.
Yes. So that kind of gets Boba Fett thinking a little bit. Like, all right. Something needs to change. So obviously what he does is he goes, hey, You want an honest day's work? Come work for me. You know. Obviously, Boba Fett makes his threat, so to speak, and all that wonderful good stuff, but basically hires them and says, "Hey, let's do it. Let's do this. Let's get things. You work for me now. You work for me now. I want to see what happens." And at the same time, the watermonger himself, Lord Appeal, was already there and breaks out of the door saying, "Hey, what about all my stuff?" That's when he says, "Lower your credits."
And gave him 500 credits.
Give him 500 credits and lower it. Lower your prices. Cut your prices. Cut the prices. And then, of course, the youths gather up their gear. They follow him, and they're working for him now. He just hired an entire young crew to do what he needs to do in Mos Espa and gives them a place to stay,
I like I hope you fight as well as you talk.
Yes.
Yes. that was a good line too.
Now, I will say that there have been numerous jokes coming about after the fact that this episode aired, and one of them is pretty funny. But from there we see a flashback. We go right into the flashback again, and Fett's in his back to tank and see a what is it? The scurrier. The scurrier. I don't know if you know what the scurrier is, but it's kind of like bird. It's like a lizard bird type of thing. But it's a great callback to the Return of the Jedi, because in Return of the Jedi you see a wart, it's basically just a big giant frog, eats a scurrier, only this time he eats a scurrier and a womp rat at the same time and burps. So if you pay attention to Return of the Jedi, you'll see that scene. Same exact animal, almost the same exact angle. I think it's a different side of the palace, but it was a good callback. It was a really good callback. But in this flashback, we see Boba Fett pretty much going on a mission with for the Tusken Raiders to talk to the Pikes about passage on the Dune Sea, so on and so forth. And when he gets to Mos Eisley, he sees two Jawas. He asks where the Pikes do business, and he goes over to them and does what he needs to do. But at the same time, and I thought this was really cool, we see stormtrooper helmets, dirty, bloody, and on pikes.
Right where they need to be.
Right where they need to be, and right through it. Boom, right through the helmet. And that kind of goes to show you the timeline and how Tatooine thought about the Empire being on Tatooine itself. Now, it's a big difference between the prequels where, the Outer Rim was ruled by the Hutts. You didn't mess with the Hutts. Didn't matter if you were the Empire. It didn't matter if you were another alien race. You just didn't mess with the Hutts because the Hutts will take you out. In one way or another, they will send somebody to take you out. It's the Godfather, Gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Only difference is, it's in Huttonese, and I can't speak Huttonese. Yes, it's an actual language, folks. It's created for that. But it's interesting to see how they reacted when, there was a lot of gruesome stuff after the prequels and the original the movies that we don't see. Technically it's dark times. You got a new republic that's being brought up, and you have an empire that's getting shut down. So there's a lot of this is old school Western. You just don't know what's going to happen, what's going to be around the turn. So Fast forward, he finds the Pikes. He says he's got a meeting with the syndicate, and they let him in. And he's talking to them, and he says to them, you know, they arrange like the protection, so to speak, the protection on Tatooine and the Outer Rim territories and all that stuff. And he pays him. He'll be on his way. And that's when he says, I'm not going to pay something twice. Okay. Why? What's going to happen? You're supposed to be paying us for passage on the Dune Sea. That was one of the arrangements that they made so they could get back to Mos Eisley without harm from the previous episode with the train. Yeah. But that's when the Pike leader says the Kintan Striders, that bike gang that we saw that
he already kicked their ass once.
He kicked their ass once and now is going to do it again. And they apparently made a deal with the Pikes, so he flat out says, "You don't need to pay them for your protection. You're supposed to be paying us. Tuskens have been around since the Dune Sea dried up. You need to pay us. This is their homeworld. This is their territory. All bets are off." And Fett flat out tells him, "All right, I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. You're not going to pay them. You're going to pay us. I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. And when I come back, you're going to pay." And this is where I bow down before Mr. Western Echo. Because he called it. He called it. Because as Fett arrives back to the Tusken Raider camp, they are all dead. Fires burning, tents on fire, the children, the pets, the adults, they're all dead.
First of all, this seems to be a recurring theme on Tatooine. Anytime anybody leaves their tribe, they come back and it's all burnt to shit.
Yeah.
It's not the first time it's happened.
Nope. I believe it had something to do with Star Wars, where Luke returned back to the Owen estate and it was on fire.
Oops. Secondly, does anybody else think that the biker gang is being set up? It's actually the Pikes who slaughtered the Tusken Raiders.
I will 100% back you up on that.
That's my bet. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
I think the Jawas did it.
No, it wouldn't be the Jawas.
I know, but I'm a redneck. I say stupid shit like that.
Now
the Jawas, no beef or no knowledge or no interest in the Tusken Raiders in any capacity.
Yeah.
They didn't even know who they were.
Until the train incident.
The Pikes, on the other hand, had a beef to settle.
Now here's the thing, though. I think the bikers are working for the Pikes.
Very possible.
Because,
yeah, I mean the Pikes are gonna farm out their work as much as they can.
Yes, absolutely.
So once again, going back to the old shows and movies of the late 80s, early 90s, you have our main good guy who make friends with the good gang, and you have the bad corporation, and they employ the bad gang.
Warriors.
Warriors. I love that movie, but
once you're a jet to the end.
You read my mind, Sully.
Pulling out all the stops on that one.
The Jets and the Sharks, baby. It don't get no better than that.
I just think that if it, and this is the only reason why I think it's the Pikes behind it too, Western Echo, is the fact that why would the Pikes put themselves in danger when they are a criminal syndicate that runs spice, and it would ruin their business when they can hire a local gang to do it for them?
Yeah, like the speed train.
Right, exactly. Just like the speed train.
I think they're behind it. I didn't say they're, firsthand killed them. Definitely orchestrated.
Yes.
Or likely orchestrated.
100%. 100%. And I don't know if we'll see it by the end of this season. I hope they do another one. I really do. But I don't know if we'll see it right away. I think it'll be cool if we do.
The other way they write these series, especially the way Disney Plus production usually works, is that toward the end of the season, we're going to find out that there's even a bigger entity behind the Pikes that you're not even thinking about right now.
Yeah, Crimson Dawn. I'm calling it.
Okay.
I'm calling Crimson Dawn.
You called Crimson Dawn in episode 1.
I did call Crimson Dawn at the end of episode 1 because I really think we don't, aside from the books and aside from the Clone Wars TV show with Darth Maul being in charge of Crimson Dawn, Solo, a Star Wars story with Darth Maul in charge of Crimson Dawn, I'm telling you, they're coming back. And not only that, it's going to lead into some way, somehow, The Mandalorian also. And then I have a feeling, this is just me putting this out there, it's just a theory, folks, we're going to see Mando and Boba Fett team up once again, and it's going to be awesome.
I want to see Mando and Boba Fett get in a fight with each other.
You don't want
each other.
You don't want them to fight each other. You want them on the same side because
I want them to fight each other.
Boba Fett's brutal in him of himself right now, you know. So I
want to see them fight, and then they can team up together to do what they got to do. But I want to see them fight first.
All right,
JD Scott versus Mega Scott.
There you go.
Nakaya says, "Yep, they will team up, and it will be epic."
It will be. I mean, we saw it. We saw a little teaser of it with the Mandalorian season 2. So from there, you know, obviously, Boba Fett is now officially pissed off because his entire Tusken tribe that he was welcomed into is now dead. Which now explains why he's wearing all the black from the previous episode and why he's able to wear it still with his Mandalorian armor, because now he's combining the training of both what he's experienced in life and as a Tusken Raider. So he cremates them all, and he recovers his gaffy stick and pays respects to the dead, and then rides off into the sunset. And then he gets woken up in a very interesting way that would explain why. Well, let's put it this way: for those that have children, you ever been woken up by a 5-year-old where their face is like right at your nose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now picture that as a Wookiee.
Only a 5-year-old is about 8 feet tall and is beginning to throw you around the room.
And we'll rip your arms off.
8 foot tall, 380 pounds, and hair longer than.
Very hairy 5-year-old.
And
very hairy.
And wants to rip your arms off.
Yeah, just wants to kill you.
Yeah. So BK, as one of his many nicknames, he is now in Boba Fett's chambers, rips him out of the back to tank, and starts beating the living shit out of him. I've never seen a Wookiee throw somebody around so much. Ever.
Han Solo story, he got thrown around a lot by Chewie.
But you know what? That's nothing compared to what BK did to Boba Fett.
Yeah, but I mean, he still threw him around a hell of a lot.
He does. And I loved that they made it a realistic fight of, hey, this is a human going up against a Wookiee from Kashyyyk who has
one big bad mother.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Definitely, JT. The Samuel L. Jackson of Star Wars. Absolutely. Hands down. Because he just wipes the floor with him. But I like that they kept it of how is one person going to overpower a Wookiee? it's not going to happen. So with that, his young crew comes in, and now they're all having fun with the guy. I mean, really, it's what? It was 5-on-1, and he's getting stabbed, he's getting electrocuted, he's getting hit with nunchucks, blasters are going around, and Boba Fett's still getting kicked across the floor, going flying, and all that other good stuff.
Well, at one point, he laid all 5 of them out.
Yes, and then the Gamorrean guards came in.
And he really fucking...
He messed one of them up.
He looked at them and said, bowling ball!
Strike!
I mean, he just, I mean, that was a WWE move if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
I mean, that was back from back in the day of Superfly Snuka.
Right.
Coming off the top freaking rope and taking him out.
And eventually the fight goes from the chambers to the main chamber, where the throne chamber, really, where they're still fighting. He bites one of the Gamorrean guards, throws the other, and Big Tank just mentioned the Spike electrified knuckles. That was sick.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Brass knuckles with electricity. Oof. And spikes.
I think they were titanium knuckles. I don't think they were brass.
It might have been titanium, might have been something.
Either way, they hurt.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It was like, holy crap. But again, these are all weapons that you didn't even know existed in the Star Wars universe. So now it's coming up. And but before the young ones could to basically, well, they interfered. I don't want to say they interfered. As BK was biting the Gamorrean guard, they all kind of converged on him. But Fennec shows up and says, "Get away!" and hits the button on the trap door to send BK into the Rancor pit, which was classic.
Which, of course, he caught the edge.
Yes. He caught the edge, and then they knocked him off.
Wookiee, really strong, catch edge with one hand.
One finger. I think it was
380 pounds holding with one digit. Until she pulls the knife out of the butt of her gun and...
Yep. And whee! I
he
can
said,
fly!
And fell down.
So, from there, they send the Gamorrean guard to the back to tank to get to heal. And, well, they're basically just watching BK growl like an animal in the cage of the Rancor, which was interesting. Because at the same time, I'm like, if Luke didn't kill that Rancor, BK would be dead by now.
Tank has a very interesting question.
Oh?
How long till those types of knuckles make an appearance in real life?
I give it a week.
Who's to say they haven't already?
Yeah, that's a very astute point. Who says they aren't? Yeah. Have to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, after, that wonderful battle, let's eat.
Yeah.
Let's eat.
Well, I mean, come on. A good fight.
Oh, I'm parched.
Makes you hungry.
Need a drink. But, it's funny. You can absolutely tell the difference between Fennec Shand and Boba Fett. Okay? Boba Fett will sit there proper, and you can basically say that this is the teachings of Django. No, you may be a bounty hunter or the son of a bounty hunter, but you're gonna have composure. You're gonna be, I don't want to say a gentleman, but you're gonna know your way around. And he's just sitting there, tells the droid to go away, no more food, and Fennec is the type that will just sit there and put her feet up on the table, take a knife, take some meat, and eat it right off the knife. I'm like, that right there is old school Western. It's old school Western. Hands down. And from there, we find out that the Hutts, the twins, have arrived. I will state it again. I do not know how those people carry 2 Hutts on that one platform.
Yeah, we're still calling BS on that one.
They have to be super strong because they were all skin and bone. None of them had any muscle on them. You know, that's something you line them up with Gamorrean guards, and the Gamorrean guards are the ones that would pick them up and bring them. But no. So from there, they're having a wonderful conversation with the twins. And the twins admitted, obviously, to the hit on Boba Fett, with BK being, captured in the Rancor pit. And admits that they, we're sorry. We're sorry we did this. We're very sorry. Please accept the gift as our apology. And it's a Rancor. Boba Fett has a Rancor now. Oh, it's going to be awesome. But of course, this was also the introduction to one of JT's now favorite characters, the Rancor trainer. Good old friends with Robert Rodriguez himself. It's Machete, folks. Yes, Machete.
Machete.
Machete. And before the show, what did you say about him, JT, before the show?
I was saying that, well, was it before the show?
Yeah, it was before the show.
I don't remember. I barely remember the conversation before the show.
I believe so before the show, I remember it because we were talking about it. Before the show, it was JT was like, I was picturing this guy. He would be perfect for this. And there he is. He shows up on screen.
And it's like, I swear to God, like just yesterday, I was thinking, he would look he would fit perfectly into the script.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
the kind of people that they're showing and everything. And son of a bitch, who brings the Rancor up the hill?
Danny
I was like,
Trejo,
sweet.
also known as Machete.
Machete himself.
Machete. And so he accepts the gift, obviously, and he also tells the Hutts, get off the planet and we will consider this a truce. And you will never have any issues with either of them again. And the brother explains that both the Hutts and Boba Fett had been lied to, and they were lied to by Mayor Mok Shaiz.
Yeah, and the mayor had already promised the area to another syndicate.
Yes. And as they're leaving, the sister says that war is bad for business. Now, you got to remember, the Hutts are gangsters. We've already talked about it. War is bad for business for any type of gangster family. It doesn't matter what TV show, what movie, or anything like that is. War is bad for business. Because you have war, you lose people, you lose money.
It depends on how badly you kick the other person's ass. In this case, for Boba, if he just totally destroys whoever it is, I'm not gonna give it away. Right. But if he just goes out and just totally freaking mops the floor with their ass and then uses their blood to make the ice for his ice skating rink. In that case, war would be good for him.
That would be great. It'd be fantastic.
Ice skating ring Tatooine? Yeah. Plausible.
It's plausible.
Yeah. You farm water, you can make ice.
Farm water. There's blue milk. Hello.
They got air conditioners around there somewhere.
Import, export. Just saying.
Air conditioning, I don't care who you are. Air conditioning is something that will last forever.
Sure, absolutely.
Here's
Especially
what
if
I'm
the-
specifying for a second. Has Cheech Marin made an appearance in any of these Star Wars related shows yet?
No.
Because if he hasn't, he will. Very.
I was just like, give it time.
I'm calling. I mean, Rodriguez, they already brought in Danny Trejo, so Cheech Marin's next.
I'm checking now.
Mark it on the calendar.
Because you never know. You never know. But again, that's also one of those, is he? Will he? Who knows? I mean, anything's possible with Robert Rodriguez, that's for sure. And he's the showrunner, right? I'm pretty sure it's Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Robert Rodriguez. They're the showrunners of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
So you never know. Anything's possible. So
no, we know.
After the truce is set, one of the Gamorrean guards that's actually healthy brings BK out and offers to give him back to the Hutts as long as they leave, and everything will be good. You'll get him back if you renounce all claims to Jabba's legacy. And they say they're leaving, and you can do with BK what you want. And they also say to kill him.
No, they said to
Sell him back.
Sell him back.
Yes.
Sell him back to the gladiators.
Yeah, sell him back to the gladiators. You're right, and he lets him go. He just lets him go. He doesn't even consider selling him back. And for me, and this is another theory, why doesn't BK just stay? I think we'll see him again.
I do too.
I really do.
I think because of the fact that Boba, spared his life, that he may come back to help Boba when the big fight comes on.
Yeah.
Big Tank has a very interesting comment in the chat room. He says, is it just me thinking that Machete is going to turn on Boba Fett?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because Machete is almost in love with this Rancor.
So
you tell by the way he looks at it, by the way he treats it, and everything else, and the way he talks with Boba about it. The fact they're going to bond.
Yes, absolutely.
During the training for him to ride the Rancor.
Absolutely, and the other thing is, one thing you'll notice with Star Wars, it doesn't matter if it's from the comic books or any of the TV shows. The trainer of the Rancor, they're with that Rancor from birth till death. That's their
Rancor. This one he
Rancor.
managed to save.
Yes.
He managed to save this one and everything.
Yes. So
yeah, I learned a lot of things about a Rancor that I didn't know.
Oh, it's
Listen,
they have a soft spot. We'll get to it. But of course, they also say, Fennec says, it's not a good idea to release BK. And he goes, no, listen, it's either we release him or we kill him. Simple as that. We're not going to sell him back to the gladiators. It's either he's free. He's a free Wookiee now. So that's why I think we're going to see him again. I think he's going to find more purpose with Boba Fett. So it'd be really cool to see BK with Boba Fett. I don't think it's going to happen right away, but I think eventually it may happen with that. Obviously, we've got the new Rancor now, so we're down in the Rancor pit, and that's where what's his name? Did they ever say his name? I don't think they did they?
I don't know.
I don't think they actually said what the trainer's name is. I'm sure we'll learn it. But he basically tells them that his eyes are covered because a Rancor imprints on the first human that they see, which was originally Machete. Now it's going to be Boba Fett. So when he takes everything off, now he's going to imprint on Boba Fett, and Boba is going to, he's going to be Boba's. It's his pet. It's going to be his ride. He wants to ride it. and that he's rode bigger. So that's interesting. Very interesting. They also bring up the witches of Dathomir. And if you guys don't know who the witches of Dathomir are, those are
Are
the
you going to
Night.
tell us?
I am. Those are the Night Sisters who deal very heavily in the dark side of the Force. They were also murdered. Dun dun dun. Gotta watch Clone Wars, folks. Go back to Clone Wars, you'll see. And by the way, that's also where Darth Maul comes from. So, got a lot of ties going on. A lot of ties. And BB-8 interrupts with the beginning of their training and says that the mayor's office says he's unavailable for the next 20 days. Yeah, that pisses Boba Fett off a lot. So much, in fact, that we go down there. We go down to the mayor's office, and the Major Domo locks himself into the mayor's office and doesn't come out.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be right back. The old I'll be right back gag, and goes out the back door. So from there, the young ones, I hope they get a good name. They really need
I'm trying to find it now.
They need a good name. They really do.
And see what they come up with.
If they get a good name, it'd be great. But we see an old school chase. And I'm
the
not
old
gonna lie.
car chase, they hit everything in sight.
Yeah. Yes.
My favorite part of this whole chase scene was the one realistic thing that happened during this chase scene, and that's where Mr. Yellow Vespa Waterski slams into the table and goes flying.
Yes.
I mean, it just wrecks and goes.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Well, one thing, and we'll get into the joke in a minute here. Obviously, they go for this chase. The young ones are doing whatever they can on their own personal speeders to catch up and catch the Major Domo. And he reveals, once they do officially catch him, that they are that the mayor's working with the Pikes, and the Pikes are going after him. And that's when they start doing recon, seeing how many Pikes are actually landing at Mos Espa. And as they're going through, he goes through, it's basically like a hollow station where it's a payphone, pretty much. Payphone, a payphone in space. Yay. And he tells Fett and Shan that they saw at least a dozen get off that Starliner that showed up at Mos Espa. And it's going to be interesting, because now a war is coming, and the Pikes outnumber them big time. But at the same time, Boba Fett says that they're going to be ready. Which to me makes me wonder, is he actually going to go out to the other tribes of the Tusken Raiders?
Keep an eye on them.
And recruit them. You know? But yes, Big Tank makes the very good point with the gag of keep an eye on them. He's got a cybernetic eye. And Boba Fett apologized.
He's like,
sorry.
Dude, don't worry about it. I'm proud of my eye.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm just going through like 4 different articles. And it does not look like Danny Mittete's character
Trejo.
gets a name.
As a name yet, yeah.
He is only known, from everything that I've read, and he has such a limited role
Rancor trainer.
that he is only known as the Rancor trainer.
Yeah.
So we'll have to pay attention as we get into the next couple episodes to see if a name does happen to slip out. But everything that I've read, and how they predict in the next episode and all this stuff.
Sure.
No names. No names.
Interesting.
So, other than him ending the chase with hitting a fruit stand, which you want to talk about who they encountered there?
Oh yeah. Who was it? I gotta remember the name. Holy crap!
Walks out right in the middle of the street.
You mean R2D or C3PO?
Yep.
Yep.
Just blunders.
And we also saw R2D4.
Yep.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Wait a minute. Why am I sounding like the
though.
geek here?
It wasn't C3PO, but it was a protocol droid.
Protocol droid, yes.
Yeah, it was a protocol droid, but it wasn't gold like C3PO.
Okay, so it was It was C3PM.
but I like that they made that chase like a Western, but also like a cheesy Fast and the Furious chase. It was just the futuristic stuff. You're like, this would never happen. This would, and then you're thinking to yourself, no, you know what? In a Western, yeah, that's the stagecoach.
You live quarter mile at a time.
Big Tank says Robert Rodriguez played the mayor. Yes, we do know that. We do know that Robert Rodriguez plays the mayor. The good thing is makeup. He did the voice. He's good. But the one thing that I saw right after this episode ended, I want to say it was probably the next day, someone, and I don't know who, but someone took the chase scene from Boba Fett and dubbed it with the Power Rangers theme song.
Oh, God. Please tell me you have that.
I do have it. I do have it, and it is, my God, awesome. It really is. It's one of those things where you're like, holy shit, I can't believe somebody thought of that.
I can.
It's
really not. It's awesome, but it's really not that surprising.
But it's hysterical.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It really is, because you're like, wow, somebody beat you to it, And you're like, I
what if I do
you.
this? Ah, shit.
I applaud you, sirs. I do. But yes, I have it right here. Here's the video for those watching. For those that are downloading on the podcast, I apologize for you not being able to see it, but it is here. Here's what they did.
Get up!
I mean, it makes sense. You got the blue bike, the yellow bike, the red bike, the green bike.
They're only missing the pink and black.
That's it. That's all they're missing. So the fact that they did this, it was perfect. The crashing into everything. I thought it was great when I saw it. I think somebody sent it to me, or I saw it on Facebook that somebody posted it. Maybe even Big Tank sent it to me. I'm not 100% sure. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I am definitely showing this on Monday. And Big Tank says, see, they are fucking Vespas turned into wave runners.
Turned into mopeds.
Yeah, that was a whole conversation before the show started between Tank and JT. So, in the long run, another great episode. This one didn't drag out, that's for sure. It was a very quick episode. Like 1 minute you're watching it, then the next minute they're crashing into all the fruit and looking at all the pikes and saying, "Hey, we're going to war," and that's that. So,
I guess we'll have to be ready.
yes, we will. We will be ready. So, in the long run, let's see. You know what? Western Echo. What do you give the rating for 1 to 5 Mandalorian helmets?
For this episode, I'm still sticking with a 3.5.
Okay.
It's a solid episode. It's I don't know. It was a bit of a setup episode. It was a lot of great moments, but I feel like it's leading up to something. Like
Yes.
I'm still waiting.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So 3.5, not bad. Not bad. And JT, what about you?
You know, I'm going to give it 4.25.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it 4.25. There was a lot of really cool stuff that were revealed during this episode. You know, the chase scene. I've kind of been, which way do I go on this? Because the chase scene was pretty cheesy. You know, I mean, the cheesy of chase scenes that we've seen in anything that we've reviewed to this point. But the fact that Machete was there, that in itself automatically gives it at least half a helmet.
All right.
You know, I changed mine to 4. You've convinced me. That's for Danny.
But yeah, I do agree a lot with what Echo said, that, you know, a lot of it was set up for, you know, the next few episodes. I mean, they did the setup for the training that's going to go on for Boba to learn how to ride the Rancor, and the setup for with the Pikes coming into town and all this other stuff. So it definitely set up a lot of things. Question is, how fast are they going to make it happen? Because they still have 4 episodes.
Yeah, they do. They do still have 4 episodes.
And the one issue that I have, and I'm hoping and I'm praying, and I said this before the show, I pray that they do not destroy my love of Boba Fett, because I guess the way that you could best put it would be Boba needs to grow a pair of balls and start kicking some people's asses like real soon. Because up until this point, when you hear the name Boba Fett, the first thing that pops in your head is badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Right now, when I hear Boba Fett, or I think Boba Fett, I think pussy in a nice costume.
And I'm telling you, it's going to be
sorry.
all, they're going to have a big plot. Then it's going to backfire because of Milton, who's screwed them. And then he's going to go and unite the tribes. And then he's going to come back and be a bad motherfucker at the end.
Hope so. Real quick, Big Tank says, I love how Robert Rodriguez made the episode actually feel like a spaghetti western.
Yes, absolutely. Which is why I'm giving it a 4.
Ooh.
Because that's one of the things. Robert Rodriguez loves spaghetti westerns. Loves
How
them.
he and Tarantino bonded.
Yeah. Yeah, the two of them became really good friends over that. Now, the other thing with that is, if you saw any other type of chase scene in any type of city or even in a western, maybe you'll see some destruction. They took it to a whole new level and destroyed everything.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much took out the local market.
Yeah. Big Tank says, I feel end of episode will be a Boba loss with him making a monstrous comeback in season 2. No. I don't
I
think
see it
so.
somewhere in between that.
Yeah, I don't
Takes
think
a
so.
loss on one end, but he takes a win on the other end, and he has to come back. They have to come back in season 2 to fix where he made his mistake.
I mean, I could understand it, but at the same time, I have a feeling just from the trailers that in order to prepare for war with the Pikes, he's going to be going to every single underground crime boss you can think of and say, "Hey, here's what's going on. I need your help. Are you in or are you out?"
He's pulling a Jake Sully from Avatar. He's going to unite the tribes.
Yep, he's going to unite. Because that's not what happened under Jabba. They weren't united.
Right.
Jabba ruled with an iron fist with fear. We'll see what happens. But I'm calling it. I'm giving it a 4. I thought it was great. I thought the action scenes were great. I thought the fight scene with BK was phenomenal.
That was good.
And when they showed up with the Rancor, I'm like, oh, finally. Finally. Big Tank is saying, but that's going to backfire. I don't know. I don't think it will. I think we're going to see more than what Boba Fett is capable of toward the end of the season. Because right now they're only saying it's 1 season. They didn't get a green light for a second one. But it's Star Wars, so who knows? Anything's possible.
Season 1 of a major story, so there's going to be at least semi-triumphant ending, possibly a small clip. If there is season 2, then season 2 is going to end the way Big Tank is describing. There's going to be some big disaster at the end.
Yeah.
I could see season 2 being where Mando and Boba team up. I could see them doing that.
I can see that, yeah.
You know, I mean, it may, because we're getting ready to have season 3 of Mando come out, so the timing is about right. Because they can set things up with Mando for season 2 of Boba.
Yes, absolutely.
So, timing.
See, for me, I'm kind of putting myself in Jon Favreau's head. Like, what would I do next if I was Jon Favreau? Because he wrote all the episodes. He wrote every single episode. So, I don't know. Jon Favreau is one of those directors that he does things that the fans want to see, which is why the MCU did so well with Iron Man. It's true. He's a geek. Jon Favreau is the geek.
Well, I mean, it comes down to.
Oh, he's counting on his fingers.
It comes down to 7 words. No matter what you think, it all comes down to 7 words. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Oh, look at that! He actually counted them.
His fingers.
Yay!
Luckily, I didn't need my toes.
1, 2, 3. Which is exactly what's going to happen on Wednesday. New episode comes out this Wednesday. That is the end of this week's Avenger Pretenders. So thank you everybody for tuning in as always. And don't forget we're live every Monday when we pick a show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Western Echo, thank you very much for joining us once again and adding your 2 cents. We love that you're a part of the show right now. It's
more like 5 cents, but
5 cents. Well, I mean, you know, we didn't take any jabs at each other this week, so you know that's a plus.
I just did.
Only one. Last episode had a lot. So
yeah, anyway. I didn't want to scare him away after 2 episodes, you know. So
nothing can scare him away. No, it's all good. So anyway, we are also live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Sully Show. So make sure you tune in for that, and we will see you guys next week. So thank you from JT, Western Echo, and myself. We will see you next Monday for Avenger Pretenders. Good night, everybody. And yes, we're going to do a raid. So let's do it. Let's see who's live. I know I got some people's live. We're going to do a nice little raid, and we're going to give some love and support to our peoples that are live, because we can. So, for those who are subscribers to the channel, make sure you use Punchers Unite and the Accidental Punch logo. And let's see, who is live
if you don't, we're coming after you.
Yeah, well, JT will. You know what? We're going to raid Wicked Little Thing. Wicked Little Thing is live tonight. So yay, she's live. One of my favorite police officer streamers. Yay. So we will raid her right now. Again, Punchers Unite. She's playing Phasmophobia. And we will see you guys next week and tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Good night.